first of all, why don't you guys introduce yourselves for everybody?
My name is Alison McWeeny.
And I'm Kevin Stewart.
Allison and Kevin are powerlifters. Allison, when did you start powerlifting?
When I was 15 years old.
And how many competitions do you think you did since then?
Too many to count, but I've been doing it for 6 years.
How long have you been working with Kevin?
For 6 years.
Wow. So when you were powerlifting, what kind of numbers did you put up?
I would say I kind of held back. I was always too afraid to push too hard and not get it. I always wanted to get my lift and not. If I were to not get it, I'd be pretty pissed off. So for bench during competition, my best was 135. Then Kevin actually got me to put up 308 for deadlift and 308 for squat, but in my squat I didn't hit parallel, so I missed it, but I still got it up, so I think it counts.
Well, more recently, you had last summer, or during the summertime, I guess you had a pretty tragic accident and subsequent recovery. Will you take us through that from start to finish and tell us what happened?
Sure. On the 4th of July, towards the end of the day, we were just wakeboarding, wake skating, and wake surfing all day long from 11 o'clock till 6 o'clock at night. And we were just starting to cool down and kind of slow down the day and get ready to leave. Just as I got onto the boat, I went to the front and the boat started to go forward, and a wake came over the boat instantly, over the nose, and splashed all the way to the back of the boat. And then another wake came right after, and this one was twice as big. It pretty much looked like an ocean wave, but we were on the Columbia River, so I'm not really sure how that happened. And the boat nose dove into the wake, and everyone had to bail out of the boat. So everyone bailed right. I was the only one that bailed left because I was on the left side of the boat. And as I dove into the water to the left, I just swam as hard as I could because I knew that boat was still coming. As the boat was passing me, it was turning over to go belly up, and as it did that, the propellers sucked me back deep into the water, and my legs got wrapped up into the propellers and just spit me right out. I had to swim to the surface. Then from there I called for help as loud as I could for about 15 minutes, and all I could do, I knew that my legs were obviously injured, so I did not use my legs while I was in the water. I just swam with my arms and waited until a boat could come to me. Then finally, once I got a boat to come over to me, I had to talk the 15-year-old that was in the boat to help me get out of the water because I knew I was losing a lot of blood. His mom was driving the boat and calling 911. So it took about 5 minutes for that kid to finally help me into the boat, and I was lifted onto the boat with my right leg and my left leg at the same time. But I looked down just for a moment, and I noticed that they had to bring my lower left leg over separately. And once I saw that, I knew that I just needed to stay calm, stay collected. Instantly, I had to ask for towels, and I put my own tourniquets on both my legs and tied them as tight as I could. So my right leg barely had any blood going through it. The lady on the boat told me, so we actually had to loosen that one up, even though I really wouldn't let it because I didn't want to lose any more blood. But then we made our way to the shore, and the sheriff they would only let us go 20 miles an hour, so it took about 45 minutes to get to the shore. And then once we got to shore, we had to wait until the ambulance got there. It took about an hour and 15 minutes for the ambulance to get from Ellensburg to Vantage, where we were. And once that happened, while I was waiting, I had to direct people on what to do to stay calm, how to take care of me so that I would stay calm. And I just tried to control my breathing and block my body from the sun so I wouldn't get dehydrated, and I would just stay calm. Then the ambulance got there. Once that happened, the medics just took care of me from there, and it took about another hour and a half to get to Harborview, where I was airlifted to. And once I got there, I really don't remember much until I woke up to not having the lower portion of my left leg and not being able to move my right leg, because once the propellers hit my legs, my left knee was hit by the first propeller, which wrapped it up, which broke my femur and my fib and my tib all at once. So my knee was shattered. Then as that whipped me around, the other propeller propped my right hamstring just 5 times, all in line. So I have pretty deep scars on my right leg. My hamstring is still not healed 5 months after. It's pretty tight, actually. And my left leg now, though, is much better. Now I can walk 5 months after, when they told me that I wouldn't be walking for close to a year. I've had my prosthesis for 2 months. They told me it would take 6 months to even walk on it, and I'm walking today.
Now, when you got to the hospital and you went through the surgeries, and you were now in a position to where you had to make a forward-looking assessment of what you were going to do, and the doctors had told you, you're never going to lift again, and you're not going to walk for a year. Was it in you that made you set different goals for yourself than the doctors set for you?